I went to see Spider-Man Brand New Day this week, and in light of that, I bought one of these. It's a Scottish drink called Bar Cherryade, and it's got Spider-Man on it. Spooderman. It's got Spooderman. I mean, you won't get the Spider-Man reference. I know friends who will, but most guys watching my channel won't. The Spooderman Scottish drink, and I'm going to try it before I get into this review, see what it tastes like. Just got it from a local local shop down there. Hang on, right, give it a wee test. That's actually quite nice, that. Yeah, I mean, it's just Bar Cherryade, but you know, it's good. Okay, let's just talk about Brand New Day. So, before I start talking about the movie itself, I think it's important for me to put across to you that I'm not the biggest Marvel guy out there. I'm not hyper fixated on all the movies that are coming out this year and that year, what all the lore is, trying to figure out all the different timelines and watching it in order of the timeline. I'm not into the TV shows either. I am not the biggest Marvel guy, is what I'm trying to say. But I do have a deep appreciation of the character of Spider-Man specifically. I think as a character, he is flawed, and there's so much potential that you could open up for Spider-Man movies, and quite a lot of that potential has been opened up. There always will be potential for that character. Anyway, long story short, I have always been a fan of Spider-Man, and I always will be. And when I heard that they were going to make a movie that takes place after No Way Home, I thought to myself, okay, yeah, this could be interesting. You know, seeing how Peter actually deals with the proper responsibility that he has to take on, not being able to tell anyone that he is Spider-Man after everyone's gone back to their default settings, I guess you could say, of not knowing either Peter Parker nor well, they know Spider-Man, but they don't know who's inside Spider-Man. I mean, like, wait, that sounds a bit weird. No, what I mean by that is they don't know who Spider-Man is, like who's underneath the mask. However, and this is a big however, I was also skeptical because Marvel hasn't had the best track record as of recent. You know, the Marvels wasn't that. Oh, the Marvels was terrible. Eternals wasn't great. The only good movies that we've gotten out of Marvel in the past 5-6 years are probably No Way Home, Wakanda Forever, and Deadpool and Wolverine. At least the ones that I saw out of the MCU over the past 6 years. Those are the only three that I'd seen prior to this movie that I actually thought were good solid films. And then I saw Brand New Day, and I was taken aback by it. I did really enjoy this movie. 8 out of 10. I would absolutely recommend. Obviously, it's not a perfect film. There is a lot of stupid stuff that probably should have been tweaked with a few rewrites, but I'll get to that in a minute. Let me talk about the positives first. So first of all, the positives about this movie. I love the cinematography of this movie. Like, the way that this film was shot, I can absolutely get behind, because it's been too long since we've seen Peter use perspective shots, you know, POV shots of him swinging around the city. I liked the return to form, you know, similar to Garfield's Spider-Man, in terms of the way that the movie was shot. I also thought that this one was stronger on both an acting and writing level than the first two. Homecoming and Far From Home. I think No Way Home's stronger on acting, but not so much writing. There's some pretty stupid shit in No Way Home as well, such as the rehashing of older villains like Doc Ock and Green Goblin, and Green Goblin from the Raimi Spider-Man films, and I think his name's Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, just for the sake of being safe and for cashing in on past nostalgia, obviously. And they don't really delve into, why we need so many of those villains. You could literally just have only one of them, and it would make sense considering the opened multiverse and wanting to get revenge on all three Spider-Men. You don't need two of the Raimi Spider-Man villains and the one Garfield Spider-Man villain to come in and make it even more complicated than it already is. Also, it's just stupid. Like, why did you need to add that? But that's just like one writing issue that one writing issue that I had with No Way Home specifically. No, but I genuinely do think that this is a return to form in terms of acting as well, because Tom Holland is so much better playing Peter and Spider-Man simultaneously than the other first two actors were. In fact, Tom Holland himself, I think he's better in this movie than he was in the Odyssey that came out like 2 weeks ago. I think he's better in this, to be honest. I think he shows more of an acting range in this, and he did in No Way Home as well, than he does in the Odyssey. Well, not so much range, but like he's better acting in those two movies than he is the Odyssey. He's a bit clunky in the Odyssey, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Spider-Man. I'm just a sucker for the Punisher. Additionally, I can't help it. The guy is so badass, and the fact that he shoots the Hulk in the face, that scene instantly gets my seal of approval. Obviously, I will get into spoilers in a minute, and I'll put a time code in the description of the video so that you don't need to worry about me spoiling the movie if you've not seen it already. I do think a lot of the characters they bring in, specifically the villain and the villain, if you catch my drift, for those who have seen the movie, were actually okay, so here's the point of the video where I'm going to have to get into spoiler territory. So skip to the time code in the description below if you want to avoid spoilers. Yeah, I'm about to talk about the stuff that you won't want to listen to if you've not seen the movie yet. Right, 3, 2, 1, leave. Okay, so we have to talk about Jean Grey. Holy shit, I did not see that coming. Like, I know about Jean Grey because I've seen the X-Men movies. I think she's quite an intimidating character as a superhero. Anyway, she's an intimidating character, and she seemed to work as a villain in this case, and I didn't expect that she wouldn't have been the villain at the end, and it would have been this other stupid guy that I didn't really care about who was the real villain. And that's where the poor writing started to creep in, which is where my criticisms start of the film start to show their ugly faces. I do think that the writing of the scenes with the real villain who's holding Jean Grey in captivity, as well as her sister, as the same as he did to her sister, that was a bit awkward. I think you could have gave us a bit more insight to his character instead of just one instance where he shows up in the Department of Security or whatever the place is called, where Spider-Man meets him. You could have fleshed out his character a bit more to show why he does what he does to Jean Grey, or why he manipulates Spider-Man. I don't know, you could have done something more with that character and fleshed him out a bit more, but that's just me. Also, I think some of the visual effects in the film look a bit goofy in places, like particularly in the fight sequence between him and Spider-Man and the Hulk. Some of the VFX look a bit goofy in places, especially when it's like bullets bouncing off the skin of the Hulk. It just looks strange. Also, I guarantee you, if you freeze frame or try to pause a part of the movie, it will come up as like blurry, because it's not fully remastered, and you know they probably had to rush the VFX for this thing a little bit. But it's a Marvel movie. They do that all the time, so maybe that could just be a me problem. But I like to see good looking visual effects in film that don't take me out of the story, and they kind of did at some points during that fight sequence. But also, in terms of the Hulk fight sequence, it dragged out. It did not need to be as long as it was. I get that, you know, it's a big overhyped thing. Oh, Spider-Man fights the Hulk. Woo! Yeah, I get it. I get the fans are excited about it. But you did not need to have it be that long. Like, you could have just had, Punisher shoots him, Spidey gets him up against the wall, gets the thing inside his skin to control his anger and cortisol levels, or whatever those were. Is it Hulk hormone levels? I think that's it, because Spider-Man has the same thing where he's like, you know, arachnid hormone levels begin to spike because he's becoming more spider than man in this case, and he's trying to control that. He's also trying to control Hulk in the same way that he showed him how to control his arachnid hormone levels. I've absolutely no idea what it's called. Again, not a Marvel fan. I will ask my friend Adam to see to that to correct me in the comments. But that's just what I think of the film. Overall, yeah, I really enjoyed this film and I would recommend it. I give it an 8 out of 10. And it is a good, and my overall statement on the film is that it is a good-ass movie where the Punisher shoots the Hulk in the face. Boshy out. You thought I'd left, didn't you? You thought I left. you thought the Boshy out meant that I'd left it. I forgot what I was going to say. Follow my Letterboxd, please. I remembered to say to you guys, please follow my Letterboxd. I'm very desperate. Okay, bye.